So, just finished doing one kickstand, as you can see. Nice, comes out like that. And the white one, there. There's an example of how the spring goes. So now let's go to my next Vespa. What we have to do the installation is right here. We have a torque wrench, a socket, we have a spring puller, and safety glasses, and what comes with the kit are 2 springs, 1 bolt, a kickstand, a rubber stopper, and 2 O-rings. And the first thing we're going to do is just stick this rubber stopper on here like that. Okay, we'll continue. I just need someone else to hold the camera. Okay, so I learned this from the first time round. This bolt doesn't fit in very good, and with the grease on and under there, it's really tough. So what I suggest you do is put it in all the way. See how tight it is to get in? So I would put it in a few times so that it goes in, and then take it out. This will save you a lot of frustration because the angle itself to work at is a bit difficult, and you know, it's important that this gets a good catch. So what you want is for it to be able to catch at least 2 times by hand, like this. It doesn't come like that. Now the next thing we got to do is we got to grease inside here and grease the O-rings. So we have the grease, which is very messy, so I will put some paper here and got a rag. So what we want to do is put a little bit of light grease on the O-rings, okay? And then once they're lightly greased, what we're going to do is just place it gently on here on one side, and then we're going to put a little grease on here so it sticks, and we're going to stick it on the other side here like that. Yucky. And then what the last thing we got to do, and this is where handle the bolt carefully, because the more grease you get on the end, it's harder to turn it with your fingers. So what we want to do here is fill these gaps here with grease all under there, so that we got some spare grease over the ears. And there we have it. Stop it. Light comes on. Okay, so now we have the 2 O-rings on here, and it's going to be tricky to install it because we've got to slide it in without those O-rings coming off, which, as you can see, just happened. So okay, so here what I'm doing is putting it on very carefully, keeping the O-rings in place, and then sliding the bolt through. It's got to be at the right angle, as you can see. It's a little tricky, but once it's in there, that's when we want to get the first couple of screws or couple of turns in there, and that's why I had done the bolt fitting prior to, because on the first one I couldn't do that. So now once I get it in, I'll be able to get a ratchet and tighten it up. So here we go, we just tighten it up. So it just takes about 8 to 10 turns to get really tight. There's a torque on it in the Haynes manual, 30 to 40. I tried it, and it's basically as tight as it can get. So that's pretty much what I did on the second bike here. Just got it really tight. That's it. And then lastly, we want to make sure that the O-rings are in its right place and that it turns properly. So we just take a look at the 2 O-rings, make sure that they're sitting right, and they are. And basically give it one last tightening for good luck. And there we go. She's ready to go, and now all we have to do is get them springs on there. So let's have a look at that. Okay, so what we have is 2 springs. Very confusing. Don't know why. There's probably an engineering reason for this that I'm unaware of, and I care not to learn about at this moment. One goes in the other. So basically you end up with two springs, one inside the other. Okay? Cut. Okay. Always wear safety glasses for this one, because if a spring comes flying out and hits you in the eye, you're sort of screwed. Now, we're going to go under here. The short end is going to go onto the frame of the bike here, like this. Okay? Now, what we're going to do is very simply use our spring puller and pull the springs onto this, and that's it. And we're done. So, she works fine. Everything is ready.